Na owura Asiama edi atudwa se obaba modern yo obaba modern ama Bank of Ghana aye strong pa te said ye peno na omanpanyin Mahama so de atudwa se ono je oba no amba be print sika emfa maye on print sika Bank of Ghana menam kase anya Professor John Gatsi, Dean of UCC Gatsi, Dean of UCC Business School on the line. Prof, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, so yesterday the new Bank of Ghana Dr. Asiama was sworn in. How do you know the man?
Well, he was a former governor, deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana, who had been in charge of a lot of development in the bank. Therefore, one can say that he knows the bank in out. He worked in the bank for about 23 years in senior management position, and then moving to the pinnacle, that is the deputy governor. He has spent 8 years watching and reflecting on the bank, especially to see what is wrong and what should be the approach going forward. So he's somebody who knows what should be done in the Bank of Ghana. And I believe you heard his speech yesterday. When you give work to somebody, what you should be gauging when the person is speaking is whether or not the person knows what you ask him to do and what the citizens expect from him. And I believe it is very clear he knows that the Bank of Ghana has to work hard to bring down food inflation especially. He also aware that we need to bring a positive equity position of the bank. He is aware that the forest is another important issue. Part of the issue will be resolved through revising the forest laws, and then he articulated how he will coordinate and collaborate with other institutions like the fiscal institution, that is finance ministry, and also other institutions like agriculture ministry, trade, and other regulatory institutions to ensure that we bring down inflation and food inflation, we control exchange rate volatility, and create a sound and a financial sector that people repose confidence in. So that is how I know him.
Now, Prof, tell us when we read Article 181 of the Bank of Ghana, the central bank of the Constitution, Article 183 of the Constitution that talks about the central bank. It stipulates the functions of the Bank of Ghana governor. And when you read the 2A, it says to promote and maintain the stability of the currency of Ghana and direct regulate the currency system in the interest of economic progress of Ghana. Tell us what do we do to make sure that to ensure that our CD or our currency becomes stabilized?
Well, I think let me add this to it. I think there are two main functions provided by the Constitution in Article 83 about the function or the mandate of the Bank of Ghana. We generally call it price stability function and economic development. So price stability is seen in lower inflation, stable currency, and lower interest rate. Then the economic development is how the Bank of Ghana should see to it that lower inflation, stable currency, and lower interest rates spur up economic development in the real sector, so as to generate development for our people. So that is why you see yesterday he spoke about the currency, he spoke about inflation, then he also spoke about collaborating with the real sector or other players within the economy to ensure that the economy is delivered a better result to the people of Ghana. These are the two mandates or functions that he was actually articulating yesterday when he was sworn in. So that is why I'm saying that he knows his job that he was asked to come and do. Now, what is now left is the approach and other innovations that will be brought on board for that to be done. I must say that, in my opinion, he left an important development in the world now that we need to highlight. And that important development is that no country is now depending on only one traditional financial source. Countries are moving into emerging financial sources. So in our case, we're talking about Islamic finance. We have hold a huge prospect for our country to support what we are doing in the country. That will spur up trade among countries. That will spur up agricultural development. That will spur up development in the infrastructure sector. All those things are very important for the governor to follow. And the good news is that it's in the NDC manifesto to ensure that Ghana become a member of Islamic Development Bank and also to roll out Islamic financial products. The president has indicated at the early stage of his presidency that he will ask the Bank of Ghana to take it up, to roll it up. But yesterday, I didn't hear it as one of the things that he wants to pursue. And apart from that, I think he is very clear on what should be done to move his work forward.
Doc, let's watch this from here. Dr. Kwabena from 2009 to 2012 made sure that we attain the first digits, single digit inflation in the history of this country. Since then, I've been struggling to reach that feat, though the NPP reached there, but it was partially. And in this case, do you think that there's a trick that we can do to reduce the inflation to a single digit as it was done in 2009? Do we have hope? Can we invest our hope and trust in this governor that he can do it?
Yes, Dr. Kwabena, the first time we saw single-digit inflation, that lasted for a while. But let us appreciate the fact that every president, every governor, every finance minister comes to office at a particular stage in time. The times in which we are not the times of Dr. Kwabena before.
Oh, I see.
We are in a time where Bank of Ghana is really under a loss situation, negative equity. That also needed recapitalization, just like the banks. We are in a time when the Bank of Ghana and the government has done a domestic debt exchange with its own debilitating effect on the banking sector. We have seen that we cannot borrow from outside. Our domestic capital market is in tatters. We cannot issue longer-term debt instrument. We are only issuing a shorter-term debt instrument, which has an effect on our finances. We need to move quickly to repair the long-term domestic debt market so that the country can begin to issue a debt instrument for longer terms. These were not the situation when Dr. Kwabena before was a governor. So we need to measure the performance of this governor differently. The aspiration is to achieve single digits. The aspiration is to see interest rates come down. The aspiration is to see the exchange rate environment more stable. But when you want to look at it with the eye of Dr. Governor Dufo, then you will be misjudging the situation. This is the situation that we find ourselves. The focus that he has articulated, let us support him to see that he implements the strategies to achieve this aspiration.
Oh, okay. So Prophet, tell us one of the campaign message of President Mahama in 2024 election was the how to restore the collapsed banks during the banking cleanup exercise in the NPP administration. Now tell us how it was explained to us for the reason that the government collapsed those banks. How it was elucidated or explained to us. Could it be possible for President Mahama and this government, governor, restore those collapsed banks? Could it be possible?
It is highly possible. I think there was a kind of misinformation and the choice of words that were used during the banking sector cleanup were misleading in some other issues, and then the treatment was not, in my view, appropriate. There are better options to be used to deal with the banking sector cleanup, but those options were left. I believe that the banking sector situation has the government contributing to it, but the government was seen as an angel and using quip to collapse people's business. The government was not considering the role that it played. For example, the bank, some of the banks that were collapsed had issue with payments of work that they have, money that they dole out to contractors who work for government. The government refused to pay those monies, and when you fail to pay monies owed to contractors, then they also cannot pay the banks. And within 90 days, if they are not able to pay the portion that matured, that portion goes into increasing the non-performing loan portfolio of the banks. And when the non-portfolio loan portfolio of the bank goes up, you know that the central bank will take action, and that action will go to eat up your capital. So gradually you will be having two problems. You'll be having capital adequacy problems. You'll be having high non-performing loans, and that will also go into affect your liquidity position. So the government contributed to some of these challenges. Of course, some of the people, the owners and the key people of the bank were accused to have done something against the bank. And in law, we know that the bank is first of all a company, which is separate entity from the owners and senior officers. And therefore, if senior officers who are supposed to protect the bank and act in a fiduciary capacity towards the bank fail to do that, you kill the bank because people who are supposed to protect the bank fail the bank. You don't do that. That's what the regulator is there.
Yeah.
So you take other measures to protect the bank and deal with those people who were not favorably to the bank. That is how it is done. So now when you do that, in fact, I am privy to the fact that interviews were conducted with some of the owners and senior people of the bank, and some of them have had very clear roadmap to solve their capital adequacy problems. But it's like those are the hem of affair who are not interested in the capital that they want to bring. And some of them were dribbled. They came in the morning with a plan of the capital. Investors have come to bring money here and there. Before they realized in the afternoon, while they were at negotiation, in the afternoon, their names were in the news that the banks has collapsed. Some were talking with the minister on Sunday, and then they were laughing about the plans to resuscitate the bank and the rest. By Monday morning, people called them, your bank has been collapsed. I say, why? You can't mean it. I just had a discussion with the minister yesterday. And when he called the minister said, if he has any problem, he can call his PA. That's the end. So you see that we did this work with a high level of callousness, without empathy, without regard to people's investment, without regard to the confidence that people will have in the banking sector. And I believe that the governor and the government will have to create a platform for people who suffer unduly to come and vent their frustration and to see where the licenses of the banks will have to be returned to some of them. I do not expect that the licenses of some of all the banks will be returned, but some of them the licenses will have to be returned.
Yes,
where the bank actually offended people, traumatized them unnecessarily, but bank cannot be returned to them. They need to be compensated in line with our laws, so that people get to that point to believe in Ghana, to believe in our laws, to believe in the thinking of our leaders, so that people will know that indeed what the Constitution says, that private investment is guaranteed for everybody, and the state cannot acquire it compulsorily. They know that there is meaning in those provisions in our Constitution and in our law. Then they will know that Ghana is worth dying for, Ghana is worth investing in.
Okay.
That is why yesterday the governor was talking about restoring confidence. The confidence is low. You heard Seydou Agogo over the week. His experience has been harrowing. Our laws say that before somebody is declared guilty, it's because our court has declared that person as guilty. You don't charge a person to court and based on that charge withdraw the license of his bank because you are charging him to court. But that is what happened to him. And so you could see clearly that some of the banks will have a high hope of getting back their licenses. Okay. Some of the banks will need some compensation. And the governor will feel Ghanaians, the governors will feel the investing population of Ghana, the governor will feel entrepreneurs of Ghana if he doesn't do anything about that situation.
Okay, so Prof, respectfully, per what you are saying means that some of the banks were collapsed unfairly. Do you think that the government, if we are to restore those banks, we shouldn't restore them alone, but we should also go ahead and give them a compensation?
I'm saying that some of them, in fact, some of them that we met told us that they are now old. They don't even have the energy to, even if the license is given to them, for them to start a bank, to be doing that hazard life. They don't have that energy anymore. So some of them, they are not even interested in the bank. Okay. They are interested in the state recognizing that they have maltreated them in a way, so that the state will apologize. If there is any compensation, they pay to them. They are not interested in the bank. But there are a group of people who knew, who expressed that they are interested in their bank. They have the capacity to build a bank. The bank was taken from them at a point we have record of where the bank was before they took it, and they just want that restoration of the bank, and they can run their bank to a successful end. So there are people of that view, and of course there are some people that, as I said, that the leaders of the banks, board members, chief executives, shareholders, have done something that was untoward. And those things that they have done, they did those things against the bank. And the bank needed to be protected by the state. That's the regulator. But the regulator, after seeing that those people have mutilated the bank, went ahead to kill the bank. That is another challenge that we need to resolve. So these are the things. Nobody is saying that all the banks will be restored to the people, but some have genuine cases for which banks will be restored.
Yeah, I'm talking about the people, those who have the genuine cases.
Yes, they have to be restored
and compensated as well.
Well, the process. That's why I'm saying that this is will be a thorough investigation into the matter. I believe you realize that one time in the history of this country, we did what we call national reconciliation, where people who suffered under the military rule did not have chance to talk about their harrowing effect, spoke. Some of them, the state had the opportunity to apologize to them. Some of their assets were seized. Some of them, those assets were declared to be returned to them, etc. So that is exactly what we need to do for the banking sector. Because if we don't do that, we are saying that anybody at all can do that to anybody. So, for example, we have seen a lot of people make investment in roads, made investment in other sectors. Now, you just have to charge them to court and say that they are investigating them and you charge them. And therefore, that charge is enough. If they have investment in the financial sector, then you go ahead to collapse their business. So, take for example, assuming that all those people that are being chased here and there are charged to court and say that these people have investment in financial institution, insurance, and the rest, because of the charge to answer question in court, it is enough to collect the bank for them. So what a chaos society are we going to build for the future? So we need to correct that and send a signal that we are aware that is affecting investment in the sector. Right now, we are not saying that a country is built by only the citizens. A country is built by foreigners and the citizens alike. The foreigners should be given space to operate, and then the citizens should also give in space to operate.
Okay.
Now indigenous banking space almost collapsed. Okay?
Yeah.
Indigenous bank is always struggling. Why? Because of this treatment that was meted out. Indigenous banks were at the forefront of financing SMEs in the country, financing areas that we cannot finance. Microfinance is like almost dead in the country. Meanwhile, these are the institutions which were financing micro businesses in the country.
Okay.
So we need to restore that structure into the hope for the people.
Yeah.
And if the governors sleep on this matter, then we have a question to answer, Ghanaians.
Yeah, we are leaving you, but just a quick question, then we end the conversation. Now, the minority are accusing under Dr. Asiama involvement in the collapsed banks, and that is one. And two, yesterday, President Mahama said something that took the center stage of the whole event. That he wouldn't print money. He wouldn't print money. Now tell us as to what a point that Bank of Ghana needs to print money.
Well, I think that accusation of the minority is not grounded in law.
Mm-hmm.
If remember, it's not the minority that charged Asiama to court.
Yeah.
It's the Republic of Ghana. Now, after the Republic of Ghana sent Asiama to court over a number of years, they have not been successful in proving any case. And the same Republic, not the minority, not NDC, not MPP, has revisited, assessed the case, and realized that no, this person we are prosecuting, we are not fair to him. We don't have any question to press on to achieve a judgment against him. So let's leave him. Let's leave him, and it happens all the time.
Okay.
Either on health ground, whether the state cannot prove the case, the state withdraw from cases all the time. Now, let me ask you: if you are charged to court, and the state releases you, wouldn't you be happy?
Yeah, I'll be happy.
You'll be happy. So, as Asiama is there now, he has no case against him because the case has been dropped. The case has been withdrawn against him. Therefore, he's a free man.
Okay.
That is how we see him now.
Okay.
So we don't see him as any criminal. And remember, the criminal laws of Ghana do not say that if you are charged to court, you are a criminal. Nobody is pronounced a criminal. So Asiama is as clean as any one of us performing his duties. So that is the first thing that we need to say.
Okay.
Then the second one is that
snappy say.
The point is that if you are giving work to somebody and you know there is an easy way of giving an impediment to the person to perform, and you are able to articulate publicly that you will not do that, that is a good leader. In fact, that is a good expression of the person who is giving the work to that person and understood the work, that this is what has been causing the problem. You know, the law says that Bank of Ghana can lend money. When we say printing, technically it means that the Bank of Ghana is lending money to the government. And what it means is that Bank of Ghana has lent money to the government beyond the threshold. And when you do that, it generates inflation and creates problem for the bank and the economy. And that was why inflation shoot up to 54% some time ago. And you also realize that when the IMF came and stopped the Bank of Ghana from lending to government, you saw that inflation dropped in a faster rate until it reached the level we are now. So the president knew that when he interfered and put pressure on the central bank to lend money to it, they are going to be destroyed. That is exactly what the president is saying. That I will not put political pressure on you to do what the law does not allow.
Okay.
And we need to at least commend the president for understanding that if the Bank of Ghana could be independent, he has a role to play to ensure that the Bank of Ghana is independent.
Okay. All right, Prof. Thank you very much for your time. Okay, thank you very much. That was Professor John Gatsi, Dean of University of Cape Coast Business School. And I'm going to say, I don't know,